What is going on, guys? It is Pokey here, and today I'm coming at you for a brand new video. And I've actually decided to do a video where I just kind of give you guys tips on how to level up faster and just generally get more XP faster in Phantom Forces. So obviously the rate that you do get XP correlates to skills, so basically if you're better at the game you're gonna get XP faster. But these are just some tips that kind of help me personally to get more XP, and hopefully they can help you as well. So this video isn't designed to make you actually get better at the game, because obviously that takes a lot of practice and that would be a whole different video. But what it probably will do is just kind of give you a few techniques that will help you level up faster, as I said. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like if you do, and yeah, let's get into it. So the first tip I have is gonna sound really obvious, but it's basically use better weapons and just kind of use the sort of guns where you can get kills really easily, and ones that match the map you're playing on. So what I mean by that is if you're playing on a map like Revamp or Desert, then you're gonna want to use more long range sort of weapons, and generally snipers are gonna be pretty good, but rifles are also gonna work well for you. And at the same time, if you're playing a map like Metro or even Mall, then it's probably a good idea to use stuff like shotguns if you like them, or submachine guns, or basically just any assault rifles that have high fire rates. I mean, even stuff like the SVU or the Scar SSR also works really well in the game, and even though, as I said, it really does sound obvious, it actually does help a lot. Obviously you're gonna want to use a weapon that you're good at, but if you can find a one that matches the map you're playing on, then that's a really good idea. So a second way to get XP a lot faster is always aim for the head, and you know, try and do stuff like that that's gonna get you those extra bonus points, because they don't really seem like they're gonna help a lot, but it really does add up. And if you get a whole game where you just get headshot kills, or you mostly get headshot kills, then that's gonna get you thousands more XP in just one game. So you know, aiming for the head is good, and even if you can't like headshot people that are moving that well, if there's a guy standing still or camping, then it is worth just trying to headshot them and stuff, because it does help and it all adds up. The other thing that kind of links with that is try and get more kills from a distance. So that may be hard for some players, but if you do snipe or just use longer range weapons, then you generally do get more XP, because you get so many bonus points from killing people from far out, and just like the headshot bonuses, they do add up. So the third tip I have is always play the objective. So if you're in a game mode like King of the Hill or Domination, then always try and capture the points, and try and actually stay around the capture points, because if you reclaim it from an enemy you get more points, if you kill an enemy off the capture point you get more points, and if you defend the point you get more points. So generally it just does help a lot, and on maps where the point's easily defendable, you will find that just staying around them does get you a lot more XP, potentially thousands per game. So hopefully that helps. Another tip that I find really useful is kinda a weird one, and it's actually playing the maps you want to play and just knowing the map rotations. So if you want, you can literally just leave the lobby when there's a set of maps you really don't want to play. So I will just tell you guys the order of the maps in Phantom Forces, because they aren't randomized, they're always the same. And how it goes is basically it starts off with Highway, or you know, it can start off with any map, but I'm gonna start off with Highway, and after Highway is Crane, then it goes to Desert, then Metro, and after Metro you get Ravord, and finally Crane Revamp. Actually there is Mall as well after that, so that's a map rotation. It's probably on the screen or something, but for me I really like the combination of maps in between Highway and Metro, because they're just so good for sniping, and they're really good for getting more XP, because like they're generally quite close range maps except for Desert, and the way they're laid out you can get so many good plays, and you can get a lot more XP if you do use them right. So yeah, my favorite maps are generally Crane, Desert, and Metro, and as I said, that works really well because they're one after the other. So if I do want to, and I'm in a mood where I really just want to play maps I want to play, I can just leave when I get to like Ravord, and I know that can be kind of bad, because then lobbies might start to die out once you get to Ravord, Revamp, and Mall, but you know, that's just a way I sometimes like to play. Not always, but but you know, it can help. So another really important tip that I find, and a lot of players don't really get, is that you don't really want to focus on KDR if you're trying to rank up fast. I mean, you can, and generally if you follow these tips and get a lot more kills, then you will get a higher KDR, but it's really important not to dwell on KDR and just not to focus on it, because what I find is when you're focusing on KDR and you start like getting killed a lot, you just get so stressed and it makes you start to hate the game. So not only that, but it also makes you play really defensively, which you don't want to do. You don't want to just be camping and hiding, unless of course you're like camping in a point where loads of players are passing by, but playing defensively is quite a bad idea if you want to get more XP, and it's gonna like slow down your leveling up process a lot. So obviously a lot of players make it their goal to get a good KDR, but honestly I wouldn't really worry about that. I mean, you can, but it's not really worth it from my perspective. It really is just a number, and I know you can say that about a lot of things, but think about it. Do you really want to stay focused on your KDR? The second last tip I have kinda ties in with the first tip, and the tip is play in a way that's good for the map you're on. So it's kinda hard to explain, but if you're playing on Metro, then it can be a really good idea to flank the other team, because as you know, there's two sides to the map and there's lots of ways you can flank. You can go right around the map and just appear behind the enemies, because there's this massive hallway and a lot of people, as you probably know, just camp behind these little, I don't actually know what they are, but I'll probably show a picture or something, but players like to camp behind them, and what they don't notice is there's lots of ways where players can just come up behind them from the escalators and just easily kill them because they're not focusing on that. So what you want to do is try and like go around and flank the players, and I'll probably show you an example of me doing that now, but it's just so easy to get kills by doing that, and it works with basically any map. If you go up the crane on the crane site map, or even the crane revamp map, you can get so many easy kills, and there's lots of areas on desert and just any map really as well that players like generally stay still or just stay like camping at, so they're really easy to just go behind. And not only that, but if you are behind them and they're standing still or they're not moving a lot, you can also headshot them easily, like I said in my other tip, and that can give you even more XP. So that tip does work surprisingly well. And yeah, the last tip I have is kind of similar to the one I just told you, but it's basically just learn how to spawn trap and just basically know the spawns, because if you can keep the other team in your spawns, or just generally know where they're gonna be most of the time, especially if your team's dominating, then it's actually gonna be really easy for you to just farm XP and get loads of kills from just ranking up faster and repeatedly like trapping the enemy. Because on maps like Highway, if you get a spawn trap, then you can get so many kills in one game, and I might make a spawn trapping tutorial, I'm not sure, but if you play maps a lot, then you will just generally get to know the spawns. But some maps that are really good for spawn trapping are Highway, Crane, and Metro. Obviously there are other maps and you can basically do it on any of them, but there's some really good maps, and once you learn how to do that, you should be able to get XP so easily. So that is the last tip, and yeah, that's all of them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to leave a like if it helped you, and subscribe if you are new. Let me know if you want to see like more of this sort of tutorial kind of stuff and just tips sort of video. But yeah, I'm gonna end it off here, so thank you guys so much for watching the video. It's been Pokey, and I'm out. Peace.